Hey y'all, it's me Alex. Today I have a little get ready with me video where I'm just using the Melt Muerte palette because I love this palette so much and I've been wanting to use it in a video. I know it's limited edition and you can't really get it anymore, but it's brilliant and I love it so much. And I wanted to use it to do my makeup. Yeah, this is a kind of feelingsy get ready with me because my birthday's Thursday and I always get up in my feelings about that kind of stuff. So, but don't we all? Anyway, so if y'all want to have some fun makeup and feels, let's just get into the video. Okay, so my brows are already done, obviously. Probably should have pulled out my eyeshadow primer, so I knew where that was. But right now I don't know where it is, so we're off to a great start, yay! Here it is, NYX HD eyeshadow primer. Yes, I just wanted to film little chatty get ready with me. I'm filming this on a Monday. I don't know if this is gonna go up Monday or Wednesday. It's gonna go up on a day that ends in Y, that I know for sure. Yeah, I am feeling all of the feels this week. Firstly, I'm gonna use the Melt Muerte palette. I'm not gonna say what specific shades just because I feel like I wanna like talk through things. But yeah, I'm feeling all the feels because I'm gonna be 25 on Thursday, which is certainly an age to be. Fortunately, this year I'm gonna be able to do like slightly more for my birthday because last year we literally just like ordered Five Guys and watched both of the It films because obviously that's like all we could do. I know some of my friends want to meet up for like a picnic, so hopefully that'll be really nice. My mom is sending me a cake, which will also be really nice. I miss being able to be like with my family for my birthday. We'll see, you know, hopefully next year will be even better than that. But I'm feeling so many feels because I feel like 25 is kind of the age where people like actually kind of start expecting you to be a full ass adult. Apparently it's a shock to people when I tell them my age because apparently people assume that I'm older than I am, which gives me all of the former gifted kid feels. But yeah, I feel like 25 is the age where like, you know, you're still young and you're still gonna make mistakes, but you know, like you're supposed to like actually start giving a shit about your future and stuff. And my entire life has just been an up and down roller coaster of like mental health stuff over the years that honestly I didn't expect to be where I am right now at almost 25. I mean, no one expected like the entire last year to happen, you know, like this is not where I anticipated my life being at all. And I think that like is in a lot of good ways and a lot of bad ways. Like I'm not even gonna say bad ways, but in a lot of ways that I would like to change, you know. I mean, I think in 2020 everyone learned a lot about themselves and kind of what they wanted and who they are as people. I think for me, one of my biggest discoveries about myself is how much I really do just want to do my creative outlets all the time. I think with part of like quarantine, being able to be unemployed for a bit and kind of do my own thing, that's a little debatable, but I'll get into that in a little bit. But realizing how much I value the creative side of me, and I had kind of forgotten that about myself. Like, yeah, I do makeup. Yeah, I like to knit, and I've been knitting since I was 9. Honestly, this entire weekend, I just did all of my chores and stuff Friday night so that way I could spend the entire weekend knitting because I've realized how much like I just want to be able to devote my time to that. Which, by the way, if y'all want to start seeing some knitting content on my channel, I would really love to incorporate that. Like obviously keep the makeup, but I want to do a little bit more like, I don't know, I always say I want to do fashion videos, but those are always like a lot more intense to film. And I feel like I need to be in a better space to do that. As far as like knitting content goes, like showing y'all some of the things that I've been making. I've been kind of diving deep into KnitTube here recently, so I'm thinking at the very least I'm gonna do an entire video of just like stuff I've been making recently, stuff that I have finished, some knitting creators that I love, some of my favorite yarns, stuff like that. But I've realized how much like value that adds to my life, and I've been trying so many kind of new creative pursuits, and I want to get back into doing a lot of that as well. Because like when I was in high school, honestly, all throughout school, I would draw so much, and then I kind of fell off of it in college, and I'd love to pick that back up. Like I was never amazing, but it was fun. But my creative juices aren't quite there yet, because I'm like, okay, I want to draw, don't know what, just want to draw, you know? And then I get frustrated with myself because I'm not immediately good at it, because as we have established, I'm a former gifted kid. Let's see, I can't find my glitter primer, which is almost done anyway, so that's gonna just be how it be. Let me actually just use my finger, because I feel like that works best with some of these shades from Melt. I felt like that was a part of me that was always there, but I didn't realize how much like doing school and all of that had kind of killed some of that for me a little bit. Not necessarily killed, but I was definitely spending a lot of time cultivating other parts of myself. And I think that's well and good, but I also like want to come back to that part of me a lot more. And like, obviously that's one of the really just like shitty things about like capitalism and the way this world works. Most people aren't able to pursue, you know, what it is they actually love to do. You know, at least in my opinion, I feel like that's kind of what happens. So I'm just trying to like diversify my life so that all parts of me actually feel fulfilled, because I usually feel like I'm fulfilled in like some parts of my life and not others. And maybe that's just like a fantasy of not being able to have my cake and eat it too. But generally speaking, I feel like every human being deserves the right to be able to pursue the best version of all parts of themselves and give their best to what they want to give their best to, not just work, not just a job. But that's kind of the thing like I've been feeling the most about here recently. Okay, I can't talk while doing my lower lash line. And I also feel like 24 was a year where I kind of like learned to trust myself a lot more. Like, you'll know I moved in the middle of the year because I was in a very, very toxic living situation. Case and I were with another person, and honestly, looking back, I feel like I should have seen a lot of the signs sooner than I did, but I also know that I didn't value myself and my own well-being enough to do that sooner, you know? So I know kind of why I handled it the way that I did, and I don't necessarily see another way I could have handled it, but I feel like I should have seen a lot of the things sooner, and I wish that I could have done something about it sooner, because I feel like, were it not for the outside intervention of other people, of like, he's being like, no, you don't deserve to be treated like this. A lot of my friends saying the same thing of like, no, you're actually not in the wrong in this case. Were it not for that, I might still be in a situation like that. I knew I wasn't even leaving it for myself. I was leaving it for like Case and the cats. And I think that I need to learn how to do things for myself, not just for other people, if that makes any amount of sense, you know? I know objectively that like I am deserving of good things in life, but I feel like it is very hard to actually believe that for yourself, you know? Like, there's a difference between knowing something objectively and internalizing it. Generally, one of the hardest parts for me about like my beliefs and my politics of, you know, believing in basic human rights for everyone, obviously, but not just of like everyone gets their needs fulfilled, but also like everyone gets the opportunity to pursue what they want to in their life, you know, and to be happy and fulfilled, is that like I know objectively I'm included in that everyone, and like that everyone deserves to feel good about themselves and pursue happiness, and I believe that objectively, but it's very hard for me to actually internalize it for myself. I feel that way with so much of like, yeah, everyone should be able to pursue their dreams, but not me. You know, it's like, that's how I feel about like the body positive movement, which I'm not sure how I feel about that term at the moment. Is like, I think every human being out there is so beautiful and so wonderful and deserves all of the liberation and joy and cute clothes for whatever the hell they want to wear and all of that. But me? I don't know about me, you know? So I feel like that's so easy for me to say about other people, but this year I really want to work on internalizing those sorts of things for myself, because I know objectively I deserve it and I need to start acting like it. So I'm going to maybe use both of these melt liners, like obviously, you know, as I'm doing like a little gradient on the lower lash line. So I'm just gonna see how this goes, and if I'm not able to do it in the way that I want, I'm not able to do it in the way that I want. But yeah, those are kind of like my main feelings about kind of everything that I've experienced and kind of what I want for myself. Like I want to be able to be creative and enjoy that and actually pursue, because I think the other thing too, what's really sucked this last year is because of like the move and the awful living situation and all of that. When I was living there, I didn't feel like I really had the space and time to pursue like all of the YouTube content that I wanted to create, you know? And then we moved, and now I literally have my own space, which is amazing. But also our internet is so shit that I have to steal Case's computer, because at least with their computer, it'll take like 3 hours to upload instead of 3 days to upload, like my computer does. Like, I just want to be in a situation where both of those things work out, because the internet at the last place was amazing. That's my goal, is to just like be able to have all of the time and resources and space to kind of do what I do. And I think with like the trajectory I'm sort of headed towards in life, that's actually a pretty reasonable goal for me. It's just because of life and shit, I haven't been able to do that in the same way that I would ideally like to, and ideally like to live my life. I think the lower lash line turned out pretty nice. I got a huge amount of fallout though, but that's to sort of be expected. I don't know. I think after 2020, and I think so many others, I realized, you know, it's not necessarily about like the job I have or, you know, anything like that. Anything that kind of capitalism brainwashes you into thinking is like the important thing, because I thought, okay, like, yes, there are certain financial goals I would love to hit. I want to pay off my student loans, you know, because I have a lot of those. And it doesn't look like our president is going to fulfill his campaign promises in terms of student loan relief, you know, which, you know, I find that just like the sheer idea of me being happy and being able to make the things that I want to make is so much more important to me than like any job title or prestige or career goals ever could. You know, I want to hang out with my friends and do makeup and knit and hang out with my cats and help animals. Like, that's what I want to spend my time doing. And I want to cook good food, which I have been, actually. That has been super great, because I've been depression baking a lot, but I love the fact that I've finally kind of been able to translate my depression into like just baking things. You know, I know that's not how everyone's depression works, but I know, you know, I crave sweets and good food and stuff when I get sad. And my mental health is garbage. Being able to channel that into baking and stuff. I feel like I got into quarantine baking so much later than everyone else. Like, I was talking about this with a few friends last week, or the week before, I don't know. Time is an illusion. I feel like everyone got into baking like right at the beginning of quarantine and all of that, which is great because like everyone was staying at home. But honestly, that was when I was feeling like the least inspired to cook. I was like very much in like takeout and cooking like the same 2 or 3 recipes, lots of boxed mac and cheese, which hasn't actually changed. I've just incorporated other meals with the boxed mac and cheese instead of making boxed mac and cheese my meal. Actually, speaking of that, last night I cooked my famous black bean burgers, which if y'all would like a video on that, I think that could be a fun cooking video for all of us, because I feel like that's one of the few recipes that I have just perfected. I had that, and I made corn on the cob, and I made some Kraft mac and cheese on the side, and that was just so good. And I bought a watermelon and I had some watermelon and it was good. I love fruit. I don't know. I feel like I forgot how much I enjoy fruit. You know, that's a non sequitur. But like our Misfits box came with plums yesterday, so I have a more hefty meal. So I planned for tonight some veggie sausage and rice and roasted veggies. So I might cut up some fruit for fruit salad for dessert. I'm using the Noon palette from Midas Cosmetics for my face because I can't stop, won't stop. So I've been channeling a lot of my creative juices into my cooking as well. That did not blend all the way back like it should have. But like that's so nice too, because one of my other goals for 2021, I have been trying to cook a lot more, and that's something I want to continue doing because one, it helps me feel a bit more creative, and two, that kind of helps me control what goes into it a little bit more and making sure that I'm not going to like get sick afterwards from my cooking, and making sure that I can use the ingredients that I want and also just like not make it too terribly greasy, because I know when I eat a lot of greasy food, it is delicious. I get very sick to my stomach afterwards and I don't like that feeling. So it's not that I'm like giving up bad foods completely. There are no such thing as bad foods, by the way, in case you didn't know. It's not that I'm like giving that up. It's more that I'm trying to incorporate other things that I'm cooking into my diet so that I can actually like kind of feel better and less all the time. But I feel like that's been nice too, because I've been trying a lot of new things. There's so many different kinds of veggie sausage now, and that's been super fun to cook with. And especially because I've also been, you know, like trying to find, you know, vegetarian recipes that my partner, like Case comes from a culture and a family that would hunt a lot and ate a lot of meat, and so like they require a lot more protein than I do generally, so they do still eat meat. I found this lemon pepper tofu recipe, which turned out amazing. Firstly, freezer tofu. That's something I learned to do recently. It improves the texture it makes it so good. Instead of like frying it in a pan all new, if you freeze it and then marinate it and bake it in whatever, the texture is fantastic. But Case said that if tofu tasted like that all the time, they would eat a lot more of it. So I'm very proud of that achievement. Let me see, what do I want to do for my lipstick? Because I feel like this eye look is a lot and I don't want to, I think I'm just going to use this little wet cherry gloss from Lime Crime that I got as a sample from Ulta. I also need to take advantage of my Ulta and Sephora birthday gifts. Which of the Sephora birthday gifts is the best this year? If you've already tried one of them or if you've tried one of the brands, let me know because I want to pick the right one. If y'all want, I can do some more like cooking recipe videos because I love that collab I did with Alex's board over Christmas because I felt like that was really fun, and I like to think that I'm a really good cook, and I think most of the people who have had my cooking agree. So if y'all would like to experience a little more from that, maybe get some veggie recipes in there, because I've also been making some really good veggie chicken fajitas. Made that last week. I am so proud of it. It turned out really nice. So if y'all want to see more stuff like that from me too, I can do that, because it's just, I know my channel started off as like a makeup channel, and it's definitely not straying away from that because I love makeup still, and I always will. I feel like I want to share what I love on here and what I've been enjoying and the different creative parts of my life. So yeah, if y'all want to see more like cooking and knitting and things like that, I would love to share that with y'all. Because it makes me happy, and I love watching content like that as well. I've been diversifying a lot of the content that I've been watching. So I have been watching a lot more cooking and knitting stuff. So it's been super great. I finished my makeup, as you can tell by the fact that my face is finished. So that is it. Please let me know how you are doing down below, what's going on in your life. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. Giving me this platform. It is super, super great. Sometimes I think about how many subscribers I have and how many views I get, and think about the number of people that in a room, and you get really like, one, scared because we wouldn't be able to social distance, and two, you know, sometimes you're just kind of like, wow. And that's one of the things I'm kind of like, wow about. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. And I will see y'all in my next one. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Bye.